We're in the middle of this massive shift in how businesses operate. It's not enough for companies to just collect data anymore. Nope. They're on a quest to truly understand you, the customer. So let's dive into how they're turning these absolute mountains of information into powerful, actionable insights. I mean, have you ever had that feeling where an ad pops up for something you were literally just thinking about, or you get a recommendation that's so spot on, it feels like magic. But here's the thing, it's not magic. It's the result of a really deliberate and honestly an often intense effort by companies to get deep insights into what you truly need and want. And that is the ultimate goal. I mean, look at a giant like P&G. They put it right out there. Their goal is to give you irresistibly superior experiences. But think about it. To make something truly irresistible, a company has to know you, like really well, intimately even. And to do that, yeah, that requires a massive, massive amount of information. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll look at this whole quest for insight. Then we'll get into the information ecosystem companies build to get that insight. After that, we'll peek inside the modern researcher's toolkit, see how data turns into real-world decisions, and finally, and this is a big one, we'll tackle the tricky ethical questions this all brings up for every single one of us. Okay, so let's start right there with the quest for insight. Because, and this is key, this isn't just about collecting tons and tons of data. It's really about finding clarity in what can feel like the overwhelming noise of big data. And that's really the paradox of our age, isn't it? Companies have more information at their fingertips than at any point in history, but that doesn't automatically mean they understand more. In fact, the sheer volume of it all can be completely paralyzing. The real challenge, the real game, is finding that one crucial signal in all that noise. And this really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got this tidal wave of big data, just raw, messy information pouring in from websites, social media, sales records, you name it. But the goal isn't to just ride that wave. The real prize is the clear, deep understanding on the other side, a genuine customer insight. That's the stuff you need to build actual, meaningful relationships. At the end of the day, that customer insight is where the real value is. It's never been about just having the data. It's always been about what you do with it. And the companies that really master this, they gain a serious competitive edge because they can create products and experiences that truly resonate with people on a deeper level. So you might be wondering, how do they do this consistently? How do they get it right time and time again? Well, they don't leave it to chance. They build a whole dedicated system, an entire information ecosystem that's designed from the ground up to gather this kind of intelligence. And that system has a name. It's called a Marketing Information Ecosystem, or an MIE. A great way to think about it is like the company's central nervous system for information. It's the whole shebang, the people, the technology, the procedures, all working together to figure out what they need to know, go out and get that information, and then help decision makers actually use it to make smarter moves. So where does all this information come from? Well, this ecosystem is fed by three main streams. First, you've got internal databases. That's all the data a company just naturally generates by doing business. Then there's competitive marketing intelligence. That's basically keeping an eye on what's publicly available about your competitors and the market. And finally, you've got marketing research, which is all about launching specific projects to answer very specific questions. Now, that third source, marketing research, that's where things get really interesting. This is what opens up the modern researcher's entire toolkit, and it shows us exactly how companies are actively trying to learn about you and me. And here's the thing, this research isn't just random guesswork. It's a formal 4-step process, and it all kicks off with what is honestly the hardest part, defining the problem and the objectives. I mean, if you get that first step wrong, pretty much everything that follows is a waste of time and money. Only after that's nailed down do they develop a plan, collect and analyze the data, and finally report the findings. And wow, have the tools for collecting that data changed? The old school methods, in-person surveys and small focus groups, they're still around. But now they've been joined by this whole suite of faster, more agile digital tools. We're talking about companies being able to listen to social media chatter in real time or analyze your online behavior the second it happens. But it's not all about high tech. There's also this amazing high-touch approach called ethnographic research. And this stuff is fascinating. It's literally sending trained observers to watch and interact with consumers in their natural habitat, their homes, their jobs, while they're actually shopping. The kind of deep, nuanced details you get from this, you just can't capture that in an online survey. Then, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you have behavioral targeting. And this is purely 100% data-driven. This is the whole game of using online consumer tracking data, your clicks, your searches, what you watch, to target ads and marketing offers directly and specifically to you. Okay, so companies have this massive toolkit for gathering information, right? Everything from watching people in their homes to tracking clicks online. But the big question is, how do they turn all that raw data into actual decisions, into action? Well, a huge piece of that puzzle is something called Customer Relationship Management, or CRM. The easiest way to think about CRM is like a massive, super intelligent digital filing cabinet. It's designed to manage all the detailed information about individual customers and every single one of their touch points. Every purchase, every website visit, every call to customer service, it all gets logged. And why do they do all this? The goal of CRM is pretty simple, actually, to create a complete 360-degree view of the customer relationship. By putting all those pieces together, the idea is that they can understand you better, give you better service, and hopefully build a stronger, more loyal relationship. Okay, but having all that data in one place is one thing. How do you find the meaning in it? That's where marketing analytics comes into play. This is the engine that really powers this whole thing. It's all the analysis tools, technologies, and processes that let marketers dig through those mountains of big data and find the meaningful patterns. And more, that engine is being supercharged by artificial intelligence, or AI. AI gives machines the power to learn from data with a massive analytical capacity, way beyond what any human team could do. It's the key that unlocks the ability to find those really valuable insights that are hidden deep inside the chaos of big data. But all of this incredible power to understand us on such a deep level, it raises a really critical question, maybe the most important question of all. And that brings us to the unavoidable balancing act of the digital age, the one between information, ethics, and you. Because we really have to ask ourselves, where is the line? I mean, we all like it when a brand gets us, when a recommendation is helpful, but at what point does that helpful tracking cross a line and start to feel intrusive or even a little bit like spying? And this right here, this is the fundamental tension of our digital lives, isn't it? It's a constant trade-off. We want the convenience and the benefits of personalization, but we also, and rightly so, value our privacy. For both companies and for us as consumers, finding that balance is one of the biggest challenges we face. So here's the bottom line. As companies get better and better at creating those irresistibly superior experiences, the value of your data, your personal information, it just skyrockets. And that leaves us with one final, crucial question to think about. In this new kind of exchange, what is your data really worth?